In this training, as I'm going to talk about Spark, Kafka, and Databricks, so we'll be using a lot of cloud resources, and this is what the cost would look like. So this is the cost that you would incur additionally if you work on EMR or MSK or Databricks, etc. As you might have seen in the curriculum, that the course focuses a lot on Spark, and it is kind of majorly a Spark course because I'm talking about Spark batch processing, I'm talking about Spark stream processing, and in both the cases I'm going pretty deep on Spark. But most of the Spark training would be on your laptop. You'll not have to use any cloud service provider like AWS or Databricks. You'll have to install the Spark platform on your laptop. Then whatever datasets that I'll be providing, you'll have to download those datasets in your laptop, and then you can use a standalone cluster to run your Spark job or for your practice. If let's say the entire training takes around 100 hours for you to finish, then maybe around 80 to 90 hours would be on your laptop only, which is completely free of cost. But there is a caveat that you'll have to use a Unix machine. If you do not have any Unix machine and you're using Windows, I would recommend that you use VirtualBox to install a Unix virtual machine. And you can get Unix virtual machine like Ubuntu for free. VirtualBox is also free. And the reason I'll be using Unix because 100% of the Spark clusters that are there in any production environment, or for that matter in development environment also, would be running on Unix. So it would be better if you get a sense of how to work on Spark using Unix. Now, once you are familiar and comfortable with Spark on your local laptop, then we'll have to work on AWS services. And the various AWS services that you would need in this course would be VPC, IAM, AWS EMR, AWS MSK, and AWS Glue. AWS VPC is free of cost, which is virtual private cloud. You do not have to pay any additional amount. So would be IAM, identity or access management. There would be additional cost for EMR, MSK, and Glue. But the features that we are going to use on Glue would be completely free. I'll not be showing you how to run a Spark job on Glue. Let me know if you want me to show that. I will upload video on Glue also. But primarily would be working on EMR and MSK. And there has to be EMR cost, like the example that I'm showing you here. I'm considering AP South 1 region or Mumbai region. I'll be using 4 node cluster, or it can be 2 node cluster or 3 node cluster also. And the instance type would be imag.xlarge, which would give you 4 vCPU and 16 GB of memory. If you are using 4 nodes, then you'll get 16 vCPUs and 64 GB of RAM. So if you use an EMR cluster as such, then your hourly cost would be approximately 70 cents. This is the cost that you'll have to bear if you are using EMR. 70 cents for an hour. If you do it for 10 hours, then it would be $7. Similarly, there will be cost for MSK also, and I'll be using MSK M7 large, and the maximum brokers that I recommend you to use would be either 2 or 3. 2 should be okay, but 3 would be better because I'll be showing you how the Spark partitions and various Spark features are tied with MSK cluster size also. Considering 3 broker nodes or broker instances, each broker instance of being size M7G.large, you'll pay approximately 43 cents per hour. And the storage, considering 50 GB per month, you'll have to pay only $5.7 per month. And if you remove the MSK cluster, that is the recommendation, that you'll have to terminate the EMR cluster and terminate or delete the MSK cluster also. So in that case, the storage cost would be much less because it would be on a prorated basis. It would be much lesser than 50 cents. So your total per hour cost for EMR and MSK would be anywhere from $1 to $1.50. That would be the per hour cost. Then I'll be using sources and targets like S3 and RDS and Redshift. For S3, the cost would be very less. For RDS, I'd be recommending that you use Aurora Serverless as the relational data source, and for Redshift also I would recommend that you use Redshift Serverless. And in those cases, the cost would be very, very less because the training or the hands-on duration should not be more than 2 to 3 hours. If you are enrolling from my website, then I'll be also showing you AWS MWAA or Apache Airflow on AWS, and the cost would be $0.778 per hour, because I'll be using medium wherein I can create 250 DAGs. For you, medium is not needed. You can use micro or small also. If you use small, it would cost you around 52 cents per hour. And the entire hands-on should not take more than 2 to 3 hours. Then there is Databricks also. If you are enrolling from the website, you'll get the resources or the training or the video contents for Databricks. And this is how the high level cost of Databricks. I'll go into the Databricks cost in detail later on when I showcase or when I use Databricks data intelligence platform. So these would be the resources cost for your training. If you use all of them per hour, it would not be more than $2 to $3. And how much amount do you pay, that depends on how fast you do the hands-on, or if you follow the best practice, like after you are done with EMR, after you are done with MSK or MWA, whether you delete those clusters or not, you should always delete and create them again. There are two benefits to this. One is that the cost would be less, and the second would be you'll be very comfortable with creating the clusters, setting up the clusters, etc.